Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 10, Episode 14, Something in the Water. Okay, I have some information. Is it reliable? Maybe. Kinda. You have to take every single thing that I say with a grain of salt because as much as I like to research, I'm not great at it. But here's what I think I know. The season finale for New Jersey is scheduled to air February 26th. That means that after tonight, there's only going to be 2 more episodes for a total of 16. And then there's going to be 3 reunions in March. And then April 2nd, which is a Thursday, so don't let that throw you off, is the premiere of The Real Housewives of New York. Yay, you guys. If you have not seen the trailer, put this on pause right now and go Google it. It is so good. It is so good. If anybody out there still doesn't understand why I love the New York Housewives the best of any franchise ever, the trailer for season 12 should answer all your questions. It is so good and I cannot wait. Okay, that is all the business I have. Let's get into the episode. This one starts with, you have received a free call from Joe. We're at Teresa's house. It is the day of Gias' senior prom, and Teresa's running around like a chicken with its head cut off. There are balloons and food and all kinds of decorations. It is quite the event, and not just because she's going with little Frankie. She wants to make it perfect because she missed her 8th grade prom. We did not have a prom in 8th grade, did you guys? There was an 8th grade dance, but we didn't call it a prom. Anyway, we get to see flashbacks to her 8th grade prom when Teresa was in the clink and Joe gave her flowers and said they're from Mom, and she got all teary-eyed. And okay, well, now she's doing her senior prom pretty much the same way. Let's just reverse the parents, and this time Dad's in the clink. I don't know if he gave her flowers, but anyway, he called to wish her well and tell her that he loved her. And she's all crying and weepy again. Joe and Melissa show up and Joe hugs her and she's, crying. God, that kid gets me in the feels every single time. I hope she goes off to college and acts like a college kid. You know what I mean? I hope she gets drunk and makes bad decisions, and I just want her to be normal and not the one that's holding the family together. Over at Jennifer's house, she's picking out an outfit that she's going to wear to her brother Steven's fundraiser. It has something to do with musical theater, but I can't remember exactly what it is. Jennifer, her mom, and her daughter Gabriella are going. Bill said, "Oh, I wish I wasn't on call." No, you don't. Not that the event isn't going to be great. I just don't think Bill feels like he's missing out on a great party. They do talk about going to the Jersey Shore and what's that going to be like because Jennifer's having problems with Melissa. And Bill said that he thinks he is owed an apology from Joe Gorga for the word on the street is you're not banging your wife enough. He's not wrong, but I just don't know if he's going to get one. Okay, so back at Teresa's house, Dolores and Frank are there now, and Frankie, and Gia comes walking down the stairs like a bride-to-be. I mean, this is a huge event, but I will say this. They are a stunning couple. They both look gorgeous. Now we are at Steven's fundraiser, and Jennifer orders a Patron at the bar, and Steven's like, "I need you to behave yourself." And she's like, "I will." He does have a Broadway actress there. She was in Wicked and Kinky Boots, I think. Maybe something else too. She sings a song, and Steven accompanies her on the piano. It's very cute because Jennifer's mom, Josephine, gets choked up and starts to cry, and Jennifer leans over and whispers, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "I'm happy." Later on, she gives Steven a big hug and she tells him she's so proud of him and that she loves him. And you know what? She's trying, people. I don't think you can really ask for anything more than that. Side note, looks like Jennifer has Gabby as a little Chanel spokesperson in training. She's got the earrings on. This next scene is at a coffee shop called Bean and Bean. Yeah. Bean and Bean Coffee. Teresa is meeting Danielle there, but she gets there first and she's like, can I get a rag? Because this table is gross. Then Danielle comes in and they order breakfast. There's a little bit of a tussle over who's going to pay. Teresa said, I'm going to pay. And Danielle goes, no, honey, I'm going to take care of it. So, okay, stop for 1 second. Side note. Ever since George mentioned this on Unkind TV, I cannot unsee the way Teresa walks. He's right. There's something weird about it. She's walking like she just got off a horse. And I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's bizarre. Anyway, they sit down at the table to talk. Teresa tells Danielle that they were all in the Hamptons, and Danielle goes, oh, where were you in the Hamptons? And she said, we were at Jackie's house. And now Dolores is planning a trip for us all to go to the Jersey Shore. Danielle, well, I guess I don't get invited to anything. What? You think Dolores is going to invite you to something? Even you know that's crazy. Anyway, she asks Teresa how she's getting along with Margaret. And Teresa's like, well, we talked a little bit. I told her the same thing. I'm gonna tell you. She didn't do anything to me, so I'm not gonna not be friends with her anymore. I'm just not gonna pick sides. Danielle, well, that was her that told you to pick sides. I never told you to do that. Then Danielle said, I understand why Margaret won't talk to me, but Melissa? What's going on there? I thought we were good. I've always gone to her birthday parties, and I don't know why she has a problem with me. Teresa said, well, you should talk to her about it. She said, yeah, I'm actually going to be at the shore the same time you guys are. That's convenient. But yeah, so she's planning on talking to Melissa. Okay, and now we are at the house that is being built for David and Dolores, I guess. If she gets a commitment, it will be her house too. And she is there with an interior designer that she has hired. I thought she was designing it, but I guess not. She's just making all the decisions. Anyway, she says she hired this guy, Sam, because maybe David will listen to him. David wants to keep all his bachelor furniture. Dolores doesn't want any of that crap in her house. So I think the plan is that this interior designer is going to talk him out of it. Well, now David shows up. And, okay, for the first time ever, I'm going to say this. You guys are always in the comments talking about which husband or boyfriend is secretly gay. I tend to not believe that these guys are gay. I don't know. I just think men today feel freer to be more in touch with their feminine side. And I kind of just go with that. I just kind of go with the theory that if you're gay, you won't marry a woman. But boy, you guys seem to think there are a lot of closeted men in New Jersey, and maybe you're right, because for the first time, I'm getting a little vibe off of David. Let me just explain. He comes into the house, he says hello to Dolores, gives her a kiss, and then he looks at Sam, and he's standing really what looks to be awkwardly close. And he's shaking his hand, so they're holding hands. And he said, Sam, you look amazing as always. Listen, there was an uncomfortable amount of eye contact between David and Sam. And yes, he went to Dolores first and he kissed her, but he didn't tell her she looked amazing. No, I don't know. I don't really think he's gay. Okay, they start talking now about the trip that Dolores is planning to the Jersey Shore. And surprise, surprise, David can't go. He's on call. Dolores starts confronting him about how they never do anything together and that she wants a commitment, and they're going through all this trouble with the house, but if there's not a commitment, she's not moving in. And David wants the house to be done first. Dolores said, boy, you can't do two things at once, can you? And he said, you finish your plate first before you move on to the next thing. So he just wants the house finished and furnished and all that, and then the next step. So here's what I really think. I think that David wants the house to be finished, they move into the house, and he's going to propose to her. That's what I think. I think he has things on a timeline, and I think he's getting pissed off by everyone pushing on him. And honestly, I think Dolores is letting all these other people get in her head too, because she was okay with it. Unless she was not being honest about that. All she ever said was, I'm okay with this. He's a doctor. I know he's busy. I'm not going to get in the way of that. The only piece of that puzzle I don't love is that he said that his job is his first love. I don't think anybody's career should ever be their first love. Not when they're in a relationship with someone. I think a human being has to be your first love. Your job can be fulfilling and rewarding, and it can be what you want to wake up and go to every morning. And yes, that's great. I would wish that for anybody, that they have a job they love that much. But as far as I'm concerned, I just don't think you should love it more than a human being. I just think people should come first. Anyway, what he does is he takes her face in his hands and he gives her a kiss, and he said, I will commit to all my furniture needs to go. And I was okay with that. I don't know how you guys feel, but I felt like that was a good step in the right direction. All right, now we have the obligatory packing montage. Everyone getting ready to go to the shore. At Jennifer's house, she said, let me show you something, Bill. I had this made. And it was a t-shirt. Oh my God. Do you guys remember last week when I said, if I were Jennifer, I would have a t-shirt made that said, I'm sorry, and wear it on the trip? Yeah, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Jennifer had a t-shirt made that says, sorry, not sorry. Yeah. Well, I can't see how that's going to go wrong. Okay, so now everybody is driving down. Jackie is riding with Margaret and Joe because Evan is coming down the next day, and Teresa is driving with Melissa and Joe. Joe starts talking about Jennifer and how crazy she is, and Teresa said, you shouldn't get involved in the lady stuff. And he goes, I'm not trying to get involved in it, but she comes after my wife twice now, throwing something at her. We get to see a little montage of Tequila Jen in action. And then Joe said, do you like her? And Teresa goes, yeah, I do. She makes me laugh. And Melissa goes, oh my God. She says that about every crazy person in her life. And then she tells them, speaking of which, Danielle called her and told her that she's going to be down at the shore at the same time they are, and that she wants to meet her to talk. All right, now we see Dolores and Frank, and they arrive at the house. It's in Pleasant Point, New Jersey, I guess I don't know. For those of you who live on the East Coast, I know nothing about this stuff. You guys know that. So now I'm going to ask those of you who live in Jersey, is Pleasant Point the town where the Jersey Shore is? Like, is that where all the restaurants and shops, and is that like a beach town? I'm assuming it is, but in any case, that's where this house is that they rented. And it's beautiful. It's lovely inside. It reminds me of Jackie's in a way. Now pretty much everybody is showing up. They're having drinks, and they're kind of standing around the kitchen island talking. By the way, did I mention that Tequila Jen is here? Yeah. She's already started with the Patrons, so it could be a long night. They're talking about Frankie and Gia going to prom together. And Dolores said, hey, listen, I think she's the perfect girl for him. I would love him to end up with someone like Gia. And Bill jokingly said, okay, have them sign the prenup now. Guys, I just had Bill sound like Countess Luann. Oh, ladies, how are you, ladies? Well, they should sign the prenup now. There are a lot of similarities, let me just say. Okay, that was unintentional. Well, let me get back in my Bill voice. They should sign the prenup now. Well, that got everybody talking about prenups. Bill says, "What do you know what Jennifer said when I had her sign a prenup?" And then Jennifer goes, "He didn't. When we got married, he didn't have any money. He was just a resident." That prompted Teresa to tell everybody again about how a week before the wedding, Joe had her sign a prenup. And then she told them that he said it was because he didn't want to get married. Big Frank said, that wasn't very nice of him. And she said, and I was the perfect wife to him. Frank asked her, do you think he was as good a husband to you as you were a wife to him? And she said, no, because there were rumors out there. And then Joe Benigno said, do you think he was ever unfaithful to you? Teresa. Yeah, listen, he had another cell phone that was just for one girl. Oh, there are shocked faces all around. Well, maybe not all around. I don't think that Dolores and Melissa are very shocked. I don't even think Margaret looks shocked. It's Jackie and Jennifer mostly, and the guys, some of the guys. This just kills me because she tells the story about how, I think Jennifer said to her, how do you know? Do you know that for sure? And Teresa said, yeah, I found it. So she said he told her that that woman was going through a divorce and he was helping her with building a new house or something like that. This is pretty much, do you guys remember the reunion where Jacqueline Loretta went after Teresa saying, oh, come on, you knew your husband was cheating, and she denied. Jacqueline said, you told me you walked in on him with some woman on his desk. Teresa just about jumped over the couch and strangled her. It was crazy how much they denied it. And now she just, so cavalier. Oh yeah, he was cheating. I found a burner phone and, it's like, wow, okay. What else did Jacqueline say or Caroline say that was the real truth? Probably a lot. Teresa did say I chose to believe him at the time because Gia was only 3 years old and I had just quit my job and I was like, what am I gonna do? In Melissa's confessional, she said, I don't think anybody here is shocked to discover that Joe Giudice was cheating on Teresa. The shocking part of this is that Teresa is admitting it. Yeah, she's right. Okay, well, now that the ladies have all gone to their rooms to get ready for dinner and the guys are kind of sitting around having another cocktail, and Joe and Bill have their little discussion. Actually, Joe apologized to him. He knew he was out of line and Bill told him he should be more respectful and he agreed. They hugged it out like the true bros that they are. All right, now everybody is at the restaurant and it's pretty. They're at a big table out on a deck on the water, but the conversation is a little dicey. They're all joking around and it's all funny, but it's kind of stuff like cheating and when they met each other, and Dolores talks about how she hired a private eye to follow Frank, but when he saw Frank and how big he was, he quit. It actually did stay light, but I will say I was afraid because that could have gone south really quick. And in fact, cue Melissa. Hey, did I tell everybody that Danielle is here? And they're like, oh God, great. Margaret said, I thought I smelled something bad. I thought it was the fish. Anyway, she told them that she reached out to her and that she wants to have a talk with her. And she said, I think I'm just going to meet with her and tell her, you know what? You've gone too far. You crossed a line and nobody really wants to be around you anymore. Everyone's like agreeing. And then she turns to Jennifer and said, to be honest, you're also on thin ice. And I don't know if I want to be around you either. Okay. Bon appetit. Bill looked pissed. Jennifer was like, oh, what? Dolores said, well, she's not on thin ice with me. And Melissa goes, she's on thin ice with me. We didn't really see where that went because now it's the next morning. Everyone's waking up, talking. Here's a fun fact. Side note, Dolores and Frank Catania are sharing a bedroom. I mean, it's twin beds, but still. If I were David, I would not like that. They were married for years. They have 2 children together. They live in the same house. They get along great now. I would just think that could so easily slip back into a relationship. So, I mean, maybe David doesn't care. I'm kidding. I honestly don't think he's gay. But I'm just saying. That could free him up for Sam. Sam is now also working hard on that house. He might like to move into it too. Now everyone is sitting around the kitchen island again. This is where they're having their big discussions. Teresa comes in and I think Melissa said something to her. You guys, I can't remember. She made a joke that some people thought were like, whoa. But Melissa said, oh, I don't know. She was opening up last night about it. Oh, I know what it was. She asked her if she was ready to go to the beach and meet some young guys. The 21-year-old whiskey didn't go over well when Margaret tried that. So I think that's why people were like kind of holding their breath a little bit. But Teresa, she was okay. And she said, listen, I feel kind of weird about opening up about that yesterday. And everyone said, why? No, we understand. And she started talking about how it's hard with her daughters and they always want her to be around, but she's got to work and they don't understand that. But she said, I worry about money and my daughters every single day. She talked about how the legal bills were piling up, and so everyone's quiet. Margaret is tearing up, and then she said, I totally understand, Teresa, because I've got all the legal bills piling up too, and it's so stressful. And then Jennifer said, well, yeah, but Margaret, it's not the same thing. Because you have Joe, and right now Teresa's doing this all by herself. She doesn't have anybody to help her. So you don't really understand. Okay. Apparently Tequila Jen showed up for breakfast instead of dinner. In Margaret's confessional, she's like, leave it to Jennifer to all over my bonding moment with Teresa. Anyway, like I said before, Teresa is saying that my kids, they want me home all the time and they don't understand I have to work. Bill, listen, children can be very selfish sometimes. It's like I tell Jennifer, a child doesn't have that capability to see how hard mom works. Margaret, oh really? I didn't realize Jen worked. Slam. Now, not cool because stay-at-home moms, I was one. Do not underestimate how hard that is. And I had 1 kid, not 5. Of course, Jennifer's children are savages. And they're half vampire. This is Jennifer's confessional. Excuse me? Raising 5 children isn't hard? Not the way you raised them, Jennifer. I'm sorry, but wasn't that what your season 1 was all about? You and Bill arguing over the fact that you just let the kids do whatever they want to do? And you have live-in help, so maybe not that hard. Anyway, Margaret is pissed now. So everyone's leaving to get ready to go to the beach. And she walks by Melissa and she's like, this one is getting on my last nerve. And that is where this episode ends. Yeah. So yeah, oh my gosh, you guys, just two more. It looks fun though. What do you think the big party's gonna be? Because apparently the big final trip is to the Jersey Shore. God. With Bravo's budget, the big party at the end is probably going to be at Jackie's house. Oh, God. She's probably going to toss a plate of Hot Pockets on the table and call it a day. All right. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed to Jill Informed yet, please do so and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. As always, leave a comment. You guys are so fun and so funny. I love to hear from you. I'll see you next week for the next recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Bye.